sky is the limit for this kid, and it's always a pleasure to watch him play. So excited for this one. I am interested to see if Sonido, after the success on the Snake, though, is going to start this one out on the Sonic, or yeah, he will, and it's going to be versus the Pokemon trainer.
I'm really excited to see how DDee's PT plays out. My personal static for doubles placed PT, we play PT Young Link, so watching how this Squirtle is going to play compared to what I normally see, it's going to be very exciting to see, especially these Whirlpool combos and how Squirtle is going to extend your advantage. This is really going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Again, Sonido is pressuring the stage right now and looking really clean on this Sonic. Squirtle is probably going to have to be coming out if you're DDee pretty soon, but he's continuing to just say, I'm going to match speed with speed initially, not even try to switch to the Ivysaur or the Charizard.
Yeah, it almost seems like most people are playing, a percent-based PT where they're like, oh, I got you to 40%, now it's time for Ivysaur. Yeah. Oh, I got you to 70%, now it's time for Charizard, where DDee is almost doing it more reactively based off how Sonido is trying to pressure him, it looks like. But got to find a way back to stage, and Sonido has been on point with these spring interruptions when he's trying to get someone off stage.
Yeah, he has the good delay there from Sonido, but the edge guard from Ivysaur, and that is the strength of Ivy. You can kill so early right there, as down throw going to put him in a disadvantaged state. Look for the fair. He wanted to catch that recovery coming back to the stage, but couldn't quite do it. And a good switch there from DDee to try to get out of danger, but falls right into that.
Yeah, really good call out from Sonido, waiting for the switch and knowing that DDee didn't have time to react to get back to the ground, but now we see sticking with the Squirtle, and I think this is the game plan that DDee was trying to look for originally, which is not just, like you said, matching speed with speed, but almost intercepting Sonic with these long, lingering hitboxes that Squirtle has.
100% is now Squirtle towards the edge of the stage here from DDee. Again, not playing really based off Sonido's percent, but playing off his comfort, and I get it, right? Sonic, fastest character in the game, Squirtle up there in terms of speed. You say, look, man, I can kind of go toe-to-toe with you with speed right here. I'm going to stick with the Squirtle. It's a fine character. I can do this on my own, but right now, not working out for him. Has to go to the Ivysaur off stage. Does cancel one of the tethers to the stage here, and that's going to be pretty dangerous. Has to bring out the Charizard immediately.
Yeah, doing really well to cycle through the Pokemon, making sure that they have the presence of mind to stay not necessarily in a percent base, but where they are the safest in terms of their weight to percentage investment. But now, Charizard, one thing I like is this ledge pressure that Charizard can exert just by doing these empty hops at the ledge. It's a huge, huge wall that you have to climb through, and that F tilt is so strong. Okay, a little Cha-Cha coming out from DDee.
It's a little bit there. F-Smash comes out right back into it. And, man, this is so even both ways from both of these players. One of them takes the stock, the other one comes back and answers right back. You would expect this from, again, two players that are perennially at the top of the Georgia PR, consistently in it. And DDee right now running away with this, running across the stage here on Sonido. So much percentage, going to be incredibly low. Up B's early here. That might be too far away. Down air doesn't hit. Whoa. The air dodge is just immaculate from Sonido. I didn't think he had the distance on it.
I didn't think he had the airspeed to get back to the stage, let alone the distance, but great presence of mind from Sonido to make it back to the stage. DDee trying to find any way to close this game out using Charizard and some of these stronger hitboxes. Now, uppy whiffs.
Yeah, the fly is not going to come out with it just yet. I'm interested to see if he's going to stick with the Charizard right here. A lot of percentage on. He could cycle back to that Ivysaur if he wanted to, but that's a good catch. Gets to the Squirtle here. I got to imagine this will be a quick switch off pretty soon. You don't want to be on Squirtle with this much percent. It's so light, will die so quickly. But right now he says, you know what? I strung together a great string on the Squirtle. I kind of had you downloaded. I'm going to stick with it, see if I can continue to get an edge guard situation. As the up B's a little bit too close to the ledge, that's going to be very, very tight and has to bring out the Ivysaur now.
DDee has to find a way to get back to the ground at this point. The Charizard makes it back, but Sonido has been doing so good at setting up these corner pressure situations. And now DDee just passed back air. Yeah, the back air, that move is just offensive. It hurts so much.
Dude, and the way that that animation contorts to get Charizard's tail as far away from him as it does, fully extends all the way out and throws that tail out there. It's only that long for just a couple of frames, but man, does it extend way out, and it has so much knockback on it.
I mean, if you want to talk about silly looking moves, have you ever seen Charizard's up air? It's like he unhinges his neck and
Yeah.
uses it like a flail.
Wow.
But really good stuff coming in there from DDee. I do think sticking to the PT, it wasn't necessarily a problem with the character. It might have just been a adaptation issue where not recognizing that Sonido is just looking to punish those switches. So when you get to the ground, you're immediately covered with the F smash.
100% is again, here we go. Right back, run it back. Gonna take the Pokemon trainer to Pokemon Stadium. Got that home field advantage yet again, and I think that's what put DDee over the top in the first.
Yeah, I mean, gym leader DDee is just a absolute force to try and get through, but good job so far from Sonido keeping DDee in the corner untouched and at 64%. Not a real good position you want to be in as Squirtle, where you're the person who wants to try and rack up this damage relatively unscathed.
Yeah, at this kind of percentage, I would have been panicked switching already. DDee, though, comfortable and confident on the Squirtle, stays on it a little bit longer. And now it's Ivysaur time to try to rack up some percentage. We saw him get a very early cheeky kill with the edge guard on the Ivysaur in game 1. Could potentially happen here again as he's just playing away from Sonido. Says, you know what, go for the timeout if you want to. I'm not a good approach.
Yeah, and that's the thing. DDee almost, it looks like it's a complete mentality shift every single time he swaps Pokemon. It's not necessarily that DDee is a different player, but it's how willing DDee is to approach you, how willing DDee is to try and find and exploit an opening using something like an aerial or something else. You almost have to expect the Charizard has to come out at some point now, right?
Yeah, I think you have to expect that as you're at a very, very high percent here, but he's working very well on the Ivysaur. He's racking a lot of percentage up, and Ivysaur not the lightest character of the game. I think actually a little lighter than they feel. But gonna stick with it here for the edge guard situation. Gets back aired though. We'll see. Do you stick with Ivysaur in this edge guard? You do. Down air, looking for the up air, but instead he's gonna get back aired to the face.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We were talking about how strong Charizard's back air is, but Sonic's is nothing to turn your nose up at. That move has insane kill pressure, and especially when you almost miss space and aerial like DDee did there, it has such a quick route to be able to punish you. And now Sonido taking a very different approach, just waiting for DDee to over-aggress, and now he's almost trying to preempt where Sonido is using these F-tilts.
On the ledge here. Grab, back throw, might do it, it will do it, and right back to the Squirtle we go. Plenty of percent here for DDee, didn't get too much extra credit on it, and so he's going to feel comfortable bringing the Squirtle out right now. And we saw him work some magic on Stock 3 in Game 1, but we haven't seen quite that success from the Squirtle since.
Yeah, and the one thing that I do want to see from DDee in this scenario is just finding a way to almost stop Sonido from just playing out this slow play in the corner where he's waiting for that telegraph option like a Razor Leaf or maybe a jump in of some kind. There has to be some way to break Sonido and get him to overcommit early.
Yeah, there definitely has to be here as now. Coming in, trying to find his way close. Oh, there's some aerials that could have been dangerous and deadly right there. Anytime you get Ivysaur towards the edge of the stage, you got to panic a little bit because those down airs, again, are so deadly. That edge guard potential from Ivysaur is so notorious.
And that's the other thing that I like seeing DDee do right now is almost chipping away at the shield using these back airs. It's just such consistent pressure that we're seeing coming out from DDee, using it to basically chip away at Sonido's shield, get that shield pressure, and eventually find a way to retaliate. Don't know if he was looking for something else or maybe like an inside hitbox on the up B, but just not able to connect there yet.
No, that Vine Whip not hitting right there as he does get back to the middle of the stage, falls out of that spin dash. But sticking with the Ivysaur here, this is a situation we've seen him switch the Charizard in before, but feeling more comfortable, it looks like, on the Ivysaur. Does have to switch to the Charizard for that extra jump, though, to be able to get back to the stage.
And not able to close out the stock just yet, but Charizard with Rage is something that you do have to be very cognizant of, especially if you are in Sonido's position where DDee is now just spacing out these aerials and trying to basically intercept movement, like we said earlier, but good closure coming in from Sonido, and this is where we saw him last time when Sonido was on, down 1-0 and gets a reverse 2-0. Can Sonido keep that pace up?
We'll see here as, again, getting close up into him as DDee gets the edge of the stage. Is going to stay with the Squirtle right here, which is very interesting, but does switch to the Ivysaur now that he is off stage. Back to the ledge he goes, and Sonido playing this so patiently. You can see the time already down to just over 2.5 minutes left. F tilt coming off very deep here is DDee. It's not going to get the stock on the neutral air, though. Does get the trade on this one, and the air dodge avoids the down air, but it's going to continue to pepper him. But I think a little bit of an SD from Sonido there.
Yeah, a little bit of an unforced error coming in on the side of Sonido, and now back to a relatively even game. We've seen DDee Squirtle rack up 50-60% in the blink of an eye off one interaction that goes his way. The only problem right now is trying to find that opening on Sonido. He's basically been just an iron defense right now, trying to break him through.
There he is now. See, coming back to the stage here is Sonido. Getting some work done. Able to get that back here, and that spring hits, and this is so deadly. DDee has so much percentage on him and might be stuck on the Charizard here considering the percent.
DDee doing a good job just setting up this corner pressure right now. Might be looking for a Gimp setup right now. Not enough just yet. Sonido make it back to the stage.
Oh, this is so tough, man. Is Sonido going to get caught into a situation where he can't get back? And he does. He just takes the L and he moves on. And DDee moving into winner semis here. Sonido going to the loser side of the bracket.